Hello boys and girls, and happy St. Patrick's Day. For the following video, I'm going to teach you how to make a textural landscape design of Ireland or other hilly areas, very heavy on the textures, different colors or hues, as my older elementary school students have learned, and add some fun elements like rainbows, because Ireland rains over 200 days out of the year, and leprechauns. I started out by just making a few random semicircle sections. This will be my land. You'll see more when I add design elements. I used a pan to trace what will be the start of my rainbow. You could also use a protractor, a bowl, or a compass in order to do this. A compass would be best so that you can measure out exact dimensions of each of the 6 or 7 layers of a rainbow. Using a straight edge or a ruler, I'm going to start by texturing one of the big hills. This time, all I'm doing is making vertical, diagonal hatch lines from one side to the next. I'm trying to keep my spacing as even as possible. This adds to the look of it, but it's not necessary. For another design of another hill, I decide to change the direction of my hatch lines, still keeping them even, this time doing a horizontal straight across line. Mimicking the rainbow overhead, I decided the middle section of my hilly landscape would have the exact same type of lines, curved. Next, I try a diagonal zigzag hatching pattern. With the hill part of my picture done, I decide to add some clovers. Ireland is known for having clovers. St. Patrick created the 3-leaf clover design in honor of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The 4-leaf clover has always been known to be a symbol of good luck or good fortune, and when we add our leprechauns and our pot of gold, that will be our good fortune. Here, I'm tracing a round object, which you can do with any round object, to help me make my pot of gold. knowing about three-dimensional shading of round objects like spheres and bowls, talking about the shading of Do you ever really know if something is full unless it's overflowing? Here, I'm adding some ellipse shapes to represent the coins that have. A light source cannot go through solid objects like coins or leprechauns. Here, I'm starting with my leprechaun hand. The most important thing to note about drawing a hand is the thumb has to be pointed in towards the body. Working outward from the hand to the face and rest of the body, I'm using an art technique called perspective drawing. In this, the hand is closest to the viewer, so it is the largest object of this leprechaun. The body gets smaller and smaller as the rest of the leprechaun is further away. This can be hard to do if you have larger hands or if you're used to drawing bigger pictures. Just be careful. I know that leprechauns are tiny, and do your best. Now I'm going to draw the coins that are in this pot of gold. A good technique for drawing a lot of the same shape object and not making it look redundant is to use the negative space. I'm only drawing a few ellipses, the outline of the pot as well as what the coins looked piled up together. Giving some love to the left side of the picture for balance, I'm going to draw another leprechaun. Each leprechaun that I draw will have some similar elements and some different elements. For instance, each will have the little gillies or shoes, short pants, a belt, a vest, a red or orange beard, and a top hat. From there, it's dealer's choice. With my third and final leprechaun, I wanted to fill the space above the rainbow with something other than a sun. In doing so, I played with the shape of the body of the leprechaun. I didn't want him leaning in the same direction as much, but doing a split over the rainbow. I thought that was a fun little element to show that they're still playful, even though they all have beards. The picture really comes together when we start to color it because of the vibrant colors of the rainbows. In this picture, I didn't limit myself to one particular utensil of coloring. These markers are my overwriting markers, which are great used with water for blending and going over other markers and materials. You'll see that I use watercolor paints, colored pencils, crayons, anything to get it to look beautiful. Remember that highlight part? I didn't like it completely white, so using a black colored pencil, I added a little bit of shading to dye it down. Outlining the textural elements of the hills was really important to make them pop when I color them. My overwriter was perfect for this because it has a unique, almost neon color of green that I can't find anywhere else. After coloring all of the clovers in one shade of green, I thought it would be amusing to mimic the army style of camo in doing different shading directions of different colors or hues of green. This is so that you don't go too wild in trying to stay in each neat line, and it gives it a real hilly feel, as if the local birds have taken the seeds of different grain of grass and moved it in space.
John Anderson, my Jew. John Anderson, my Jew.
Finishing up my leprechauns, I use one tone of skin. Ireland is a very dark and rainy place, so the skin tone of most of the inhabitants is a palish color. I am using two different hues of that color to make it pop, but I'm not going too dark. Same technique for my coins, orange, gold, and yellow to make them pop. I'm using scrap paper here in a different way than you're used to seeing. Here, when I want the different hues of my blue sky to go from darkest at the top to lightest at the bottom, I want to make sure that I'm going in the same direction. When I've decided the amount of coloring that I want that one color to be, that's where I place the paper and hold it firmly to color it in, avoiding my rainbow and leprechauns along the way.
John Anderson, my Georgia. When we were first.
Here's my finished piece. I hope you like it. Try it out and subscribe to my channel.
Your bonny brow was brent, but now your brow is built, John. Your locks are like the sun.